This website made people do disgusting acts. Okay. Little bizarre, but okay.
They trashed hotel rooms, humiliated total strangers, and made people do terrible things. And no one could stop them because no one knew who they were. The group called themselves PrankNet, and this is how they became one.
Damn, my boy consistent.
So my goal this year is to give you guys double the amount of videos without sacrificing quality, and to do that, we gotta...
Bro, just dropped the video like 3 days ago.
Subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you did, and I promise to give you more fire content. I'm Visual Venture, and you are awesome. The dark side of laughter. The year was 2000.
Buddha, is that you? Buddha. Go ahead, man. After you, man. Come on. Man, I'm recording a video right now. Man, come on. Come inside, come on. Man. Come on. Let me show them you. This is Buddha. This is Buddha, everybody. She's a sassy pants. Sassy girl. Alright, back to the reaction.
And pranknet.org was like a clubhouse for the internet's worst pranksters. The website looked like a regular chat room with about 200 people, except they weren't there to just discuss pranks. They wanted to do them. There was just one obstacle. They wanted to do pranks in real life, but PrankNet's members were scattered across the country staring at computer screens. How could they prank anyone in real life if they were behind their computers? Eventually, they figured it out, and the solution was diabolical. PrankNet used something simple, something almost everyone has, a phone. With a phone call, they could pretend to be anyone, and they could target people all over the world. But that wasn't enough for them.
That happens mostly every day now. Like, that happens every day now. I swear, every day I get a call from someone saying that I owe them money, or I won the lottery, or my DMV registration. There's just so many ways of people, and now it's crazier with AI, but there's just so many ways of hackers trying to get into your phone and in your information nowadays. It's just crazy.
Decided to record the prank calls and then post them online for laughs. They even made a creepy logo. It was a huge black bird with its wings wide open. Inside the bird was an angry man yelling on the phone. That was the reaction they were aiming for. At the bottom it said Prank University. That was another name
Prank
they sometimes
University.
went by. By early 2009, they were ready to carry out these pranks. Their first victims. February 10th, 2009. It was a quiet night at the Best Western Hotel in Pennsylvania. Guests were asleep in their rooms. Everything seemed normal, but the hotel was about to be thrown into panic. It started when the phone rang in room 306. The guest picked up. The voice on the line sounded serious. He said his name was Jonathan Davis from the front desk, and he had bad news. A gas leak had spread through the building. It was so serious that other guests were passing out. Obviously, the guest in room 306 was worried, but the guy on the phone, who was allegedly calling from the front desk, had a solution. He told the guests to do 3 things to protect themselves.
Of course.
Step 1, unplug everything. Step 2, wet some towels and press them against the door. That would prevent carbon monoxide from leaking into the room. The guest followed every step. He didn't ask many questions. He just wanted to survive. Then the caller gave the 3rd instruction, and it was extreme. He told the guest to break the glass window in the room. The window was
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
huge, 5 feet wide, 5 feet tall. If you broke it, it would cause serious damage. The guest asked, "Are you serious?" The guy on the phone repeated the instruction. Smash that window to let more air into the room. Thinking his life was at risk, the guest grabbed a chair and shattered the glass. Cold air rushed in, but there was one last thing that needed to be done. The caller said the TV in the room could potentially explode because of the gas leak. It had to be destroyed immediately. The guest hit the TV, but it didn't break. So the caller told him to throw it out the window. The guest obeyed. The
No
TV flew
way.
out the window and crashed onto the sidewalk below. Luckily, it didn't fall on anyone walking below. The guest was shaking. He thought he just saved his own life, but it was all a lie. The man on the phone wasn't from the front desk. He was from PrankNet, and he just tricked the guest into causing thousands of dollars in damage.
That's so messed up. Like, what if you're just traveling and you're staying at a hotel and somebody tries to prank you and tell you, hey, you got to do this. Hey, stop. What if someone tries to prank you by telling you, hey, you got to break the window and you got to throw the furniture out the window too in order for you to survive? Like, that's so messed up. And the fact that he was playing with his life, telling him that if he didn't do it, he would die. You know, that's so messed up.
And it wasn't just room 306. Other rooms got the same call about a gas leak emergency. By the end of the night, multiple guests...
Why didn't they report it though? That's what I don't understand. Like, I would have called the front desk. You know, the people in the front when people walk into the hotel or whatever.
Smashed windows and destroyed hotel property.
Why?
Hotel workers couldn't believe,
like, why isn't you not making sure this is legit before you do those things?
They called the police for help, but by then the damage was done. And the whole time, PrankNet was in their chat room listening and laughing. They recorded the calls and posted the audio online. But this was only the start of what they had planned, because the next prank was so shocking most people can't even talk about it. The apple cider incident. On July 20th, 2009, PrankNet targeted Homewood Suites in Kentucky. That night, one of PrankNet's members called a hotel guest. He pretended to be the manager, and what he said was terrifying. He claimed that the room's previous guest tested positive for hepatitis.
Oh,
the current guest could have gotten infected from staying in...
Nah, that's messed up. Like what kind of person do you gotta be to like play with someone like that? Like, this is stuff that people actually pass from.
In the same room, especially if the room wasn't properly cleaned by hotel staff. The whole call was building up to one request. The caller said a doctor was in the hotel, and the guest needed to bring a urine sample down to the front desk to be tested, just to make sure they were okay. All they had to do was pee into a glass and bring it down to the front desk. To avoid alarming other guests, the caller told them to use a code word, apple cider. That was the code. While the guest got ready, the prankster made another call. This time, they called the front desk clerk. This was the person the guest was supposed to bring the apple cider to. The prankster pretended to be a representative from an apple cider company. He told the clerk that a guest would be dropping off a sample for a taste test, and he wanted the clerk to take a sip and provide...
No way. Nah, this is diabolical. Like, these people are sick. Ain't no way, bro. I don't care who you are. If I'm pranking you, I would never go this far. I would never do something like this. And I'm not even a pranker myself. Like, I barely prank my brother occasionally, but I would never do something like this, dude.
Feedback. Moments later, the guest showed up. They handed the hotel clerk a glass of warm liquid. She smiled and said thank you and took a sip. Her face changed instantly. She said, that does not taste...
Oh, that's crazy! That's insane. I'm not going to take another sip.
I'm gonna take another sip. That's horrible. That's when the PrankNet caller told her what she really
wanted.
After that, let's just say all hell broke loose. As usual, PrankNet shared the recording online. To them, pain was entertainment. As PrankNet's reputation...
Nah, bro, I'm suing, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, hell nah. I'm finding you. I'm hiring all the best hackers. I'm paying $10K for a session, whatever it takes. I'm finding you, and I'm gonna prank you back. Not like that, but I'm gonna prank you back to the point where you're gonna be scared of me. Cause F that, bro. That's savage.
Spread, people began to realize the truth. Anyone could be the next victim. All you had to do was pick up the phone. Not long after, PrankNet hit more hotels. In Alabama, they tricked the guest into setting off a sprinkler inside his room. In Nebraska, they convinced someone to drive his truck into the hotel lobby.
How? How do you do that? Yo, bro, how can you be so gullible? Okay, it's a prank. All right, I'm gonna let him explain this one. I hope he explains this one, because how are you gonna convince someone to do something like this. Like, bruh.
This truck into the hotel lobby. The total cost of repairs for the incidents exceeded $100,000. News outlets picked up the story. Hotels across the country were on alert. By June 2009, there were 8 cases across 4 states and counting. The police got involved. To them, these weren't pranks. They were serious crimes.
Yeah.
Now the police were hunting the people behind PrankNet. The pranks were going too far.
Oh, shoot.
Working hard to catch the people behind PrankNet. In the meantime, PrankNet found new ways to...
The Johnnies are getting involved now.
They weren't just targeting hotels anymore. One night, they called a busy restaurant. They told the manager that a recent pork shipment tested positive for swine flu. The manager panicked and evacuated the restaurant. PrankNet chose that restaurant because it had a live webcam in the dining room, so they could watch the panic unfold in real time. Then there was the KFC incident. PrankNet convinced workers at a KFC in Manchester to do something humiliating. By the time they realized it was a prank, it was too late. The KFC kitchen was a wreck, and the story made national news. PrankNet also found a way to hijack business phone lines. They would call a phone company, pretend to be the business owner, and claim the phones weren't working. Then they would ask the phone company to forward the business's calls to a different number. And somehow...
Dude, these people are for sure hackers. There's just no way you're making all these pranks happen for a period of time. You're not getting caught. Like, these guys are cyber experts.
They hijacked the phone lines of a Hilton hotel in Tulsa. When people called the hotel, they were told there was a flu outbreak. Others were warned that armed men were inside holding hostages. As PrankNet's twisted calls made headlines, people started to worry. If a stranger could cause this much chaos with just a call, were hotels and restaurants even safe anymore? The public was divided. Some blamed the pranksters. Others blamed the victims, saying people who give in to orders like this are just waiting for an excuse to do bad stuff anyway. Meanwhile, police were doing everything they could to find the pranksters, but they still had no solid leads. There were rumors online, but nothing concrete. It was a problem that no one could ignore, so someone else stepped in to stop PrankNet once and for all. Catching the criminals. The Smoking Gun was a popular investigative website, and in mid-2019, the reporters at the site set a new goal: to expose the true identities of the people behind PrankNet. But it wasn't going to be easy. For 7 weeks, the team followed clues across the internet. They studied chat room conversations and examined police reports. And they noticed something important. PrankNet used Skype to make their calls. That's why the police couldn't trace them like normal prank calls. Slowly, the people...
That's true. I used to use Skype all the time when I didn't want to give people my phone number. Nowadays, people use Telegram, but Skype was the shit, bro.
These came together. They discovered that the group had a leader. He called himself Dex. He named himself after the TV show Dexter, who was a serial killer. From his comments, Dex saw himself as a puppet master, a mastermind. But the mastermind was about to make a big mistake. The Smoking Gun reporters joined the PrankNet chat room and offered to interview Dex. Dex couldn't resist. He agreed to an interview on Skype. He showed no guilt for his actions. On the contrary, he blamed the victims for what happened. He called them sheep. Brains of their
I'm sorry.
Also said PrankNet's real mission,
but it's like, bro, if you're gonna do these kinds of pranks, like, he does not care then, I guess, but just showing his face, like, whatever.
Was to prove how stupid people were. When the reporters asked if he was scared of getting caught, his response was arrogant. His exact words were, "It's too difficult to find me. I'm a ghost on the internet." But while Dex ranted, the reporters already had a trap.
Never flex about what you can and can't do, because eventually everybody falls. Remember that.
They sent him a special link to view one of their articles. When Dex clicked it, it silently revealed his IP address.
What'd I say?
The address wasn't even in the US. It was in Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
The cops always gonna find a way. That's why it's not even worth doing stuff now in 2025, bro. Like, don't even try to don't even try to scam or do anything illegal nowadays, because, bro, you're gonna get caught. You're gonna get caught. Like, people aren't as smart as you think they are. You feel me? The cops are always gonna be one step ahead of you. We got cybersecurity now, like the Fed, the FBI. Like, bro, you're gonna get caught. So don't even bother, man.
So 2 reporters got on a plane. They flew to Windsor, and when they arrived, they found the exact place where Dex lived. They staked out the building for days, watching everyone.
Crazy.
And that's when they figured it out. Dex wasn't some criminal mastermind. His real name was Tariq Malik. He was 25 years old. He lived with his mom. He had no job and no friends. The smoking gun solved the mystery. In August 2009, they published a story. In it, they revealed Dex's name, picture, and address. By hacking Dex, they uncovered the identities of some...
No! You see, all they needed was one little bit of intel. And now, they found your crew, homie.
Other PrankNet members. They revealed those names too. The expose went viral. News stations picked it up. Finally, reporters knocked on Malik's door.
It's a wrap!
He never came outside. He was hiding. Maybe if he thought he ignored them, they would just leave. But they didn't. The reporters stayed and interviewed the neighbors. Then something ironic happened. Dex, the guy who humiliated strangers for fun, called the cops on the reporters. He claimed there were suspicious persons outside his home.
Oh, nah, bro. That don't work. It don't work like that, huh?
When the reporters found out, they put that on the news too.
You can't call the cops, bro, when you're the one doing the main thing. Like, bro, that's not how it works.
And he wanted them removed. When the reporters found out, they put that on the news too. Soon after,
Exactly, you see?
the FBI got involved. Several members of
The feds, homie, the FBI. I told y'all.
were arrested. Some were found guilty of criminal mischief and sentenced to prison. Interestingly, Tariq Malik, also known as Dex, denied being part of PrankNet. U.S. officials tried to extradite him from Canada. However, there was no proof that he was ever arrested or charged in the U.S. That should have been the end of PrankNet, but it wasn't, because even after their leader was exposed, some of PrankNet's most loyal members kept going. And the stuff they did next was even more bizarre.
Oh, shoot.
Crisis at Motel 6.
Oh,
It
shoot.
was November 2010 at a Motel 6 in South Carolina. Joseph Jones was in room 107. The caller claimed he worked for the motel. He told Jones that the previous guest hid cameras all over the room, and now those cameras were spying on him. The voice on the phone sounded urgent. Jones had to destroy the cameras immediately. The caller claimed the cameras were hidden behind the mirrors. So Jones grabbed a wrench and smashed every mirror in the room. But there was another emergency that Jones needed to take care of. Jones believed every word. He grabbed a wrench and started smashing through the wall, trying to rescue the little person on the other side. Guests in nearby rooms heard the noise, but when the banging got louder, they called the front desk. The manager found Jones standing in a wrecked room holding a wrench. She called 911. When the police showed up, Jones explained everything. The story sounded all too familiar. This had PrankNet written all over it. Later, investigations confirmed it. On that day, PrankNet members launched a series of attacks on Motel 6 locations across the country. Luckily, the motel manager didn't make Jones pay for the damage, but she still kicked them out immediately. Over the years, the pranks got fewer and fewer. Today, PrankNet is no longer active. Some members serve time in prison. Others moved on with their lives, but their disturbing prank calls are still online for anyone to hear. These pranksters were sitting behind their computer screens in the comfort of their own homes, creating real chaos. The truth is that what you do online can really change someone's life forever. So next time you're online, ask yourself, would you be proud to stand behind your username in real life? Visual Venture.
Damn, that's crazy. This website made people do disgusting acts. Honestly, I like Visual Ventures because every single time you don't know whether it's going to be something mysterious, something diabolical. This one, it was just a video about a prankster. So it just goes to show that people go this far, to do pranks. There's your average prankster, there's your YouTube prankster, but then there's people on the net that are basically like little cyber hackers that can do stuff like this. And it's amazing me, man. It just amazes me because, in 2025, we live now in a generation where everything's on the internet. So you really got to be careful when you're on the internet, browsing, buying stuff, talking to people. Like, bro, I don't even talk. Like, if someone messages me or DMs me, I don't even open them no more because like AI is so advanced. Like, it's just a fake account. There's so many bots and fake accounts. Like, I don't even open my messages. But like, this just goes to show that, like, these people out here just don't care. If you do pranks, If you're out there, you do pranks, let it be harmless, not something like this where you're possibly endangering someone's life, you know, or damaging property. You know, a harmless prank where you prank your cousin, you know, he wets the bed, you know, but a prank where you fool or you trick someone into evacuating a building because it's on fire when in reality it's not, like, you know. But anyways, that is going to be it for the video. Visual Ventures. Shout outs to Visual Ventures. Keep doing your thing. Let me know what y'all did today. Let me know if this video is a W or L. But I'm gonna sign out for today. Yo, straight up, I'm gonna be dropping videos at night from now on. Like, I think this is my rhythm, and I'm gonna stick to it because I feel most comfortable when I get off of work. I go skate for like an hour, then I come home, take a shower, I unwind, and then I be ready to like make a reaction video. So I'm liking my workflow. You feel me? So with that being said, I'm gonna catch y'all in the next reaction. Y'all take care.